Hey guys, hello to you from my office space to yours. Today is going to be a dress rehearsal for those of us who have been quarantining away from our office space. And it will be an opportunity for those of you who are working double, triple shifts to pause for a moment and experience more space in the body. As you see, you can be doing this from your work clothes, provided it's loose fitting. Yeah, you don't need any special yoga attires, and you won't need your desk either. So go ahead and move the desk out of your way if the desk is mobile. And take a blanket if you don't have one yet, and definitely a chair. And if you have a chair like this, well, that's tremendous, because these chairs, they do so much, so much. So it's a worthwhile investment if you're considering props to invest on. This would be my number one option, in addition to the blanket, of course, as you may have noticed. So you're going to sit really close to the chair. Those of you who are sitting on the floor, otherwise I'm going to guide you from the chair in just a moment. So if you're sitting on the chair, on the floor, bring your legs up and around and lie down. And as you lie down, just become aware of that support that is instantly available to you, the earth, yeah? And those of you who are happy here will stay right here. And those of you who are in your chair, I will come and join you. So those of you lying down, just give the weight of your forehead, of the front of the brain, into the back of the brain, the back of the head. Dropping any tension that you may find. The forehead, and the fronts of the shoulders, drop to the backs of the shoulders. And those of us who are sitting on the chair, I want you to connect with the earth beneath you through your feet and your seat. Yeah? So let's all connect with the earth, the support of the earth beneath us, wherever it may be for us right now, sitting or lying down. And then with the eyes open or closed, it's up to you, whatever allows you to move inwardly more and pay attention to what's happening on the inside. I invite you to breathe in and out of the nose and inquire about the depth as well as the rhythm of your breath. So you may find that the breath is shallow. You may find that the breath is deep. You may find that the breath is a bit erratic. You may find that the breath is quite harmonious. In any case, I invite you to begin to notice the exhalation. You're not forcing the breath out in any way. You're just observing the breath moving out of the nose. That's all. From beginning to end. And here, to those of us who have Ujjayi breathing as a practice, you can incorporate that now. And your only task, once again, is just to observe the out-breath from beginning to end. And what you may find is that the in-breath becomes a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller. And you may find that if the breath was a bit erratic at the start, it is now becoming more harmonious. by doing nothing other than just giving your attention to the exhalation. Very good, you guys. So now just those of you lying down, roll onto the side. Use that top arm to bring you up, with the head being the last thing to come up. Beautiful. Now we come into a seated position, like so. I'm going to give you my side view so that it's easier for you to see the movement. And then what I invite you to do here is, first of all, make sure that your feet are stable on the ground and that your legs, your quadriceps, are parallel to the ground. If this is not the case, then you will use your blanket to either bring the feet up higher, or use the blanket to bring your seat up higher. Yeah, but the idea is to have that 90-degree angle. So make the adjustment necessary with the prop that you have. And then once you're there, bring both hands to your knees. You can wiggle a little bit side to side to move the flesh out of the way, or actually use the hands to do that. I often do. And as you bring your hands to your knees, go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. Just feel the sternum rise from the base of the body, from the low abdomen, opening up through the collarbones. Nice. And then from here, locate the left rib cage, and then encourage the whole torso to move out to the left. And then bring the torso all the way back, just caving in, closing in, rounding up the spine, letting the head come all the way down, the tail curl all the way up, space between the backs of those shoulder blades, really get a nice opening here. And then visit the right side of the ribs, stretching them out to the right as best you can. And then come back to that forward position, but perhaps this time you can lift a little bit higher from the abdomen, lift a little bit more through the sternum, keeping the neck nice and full. Take a nice deep breath in. And now we're just going to circle around, all as one movement, bringing it to the left, taking it back to the right, and forward. And just as you move in this way, perhaps you can coordinate the breath. Again, noticing that exhalation to its completion, and then welcoming that next breath in. So it's another way of doing your spinal floss, yeah? Just breathing effortlessly, loosening up the spine. On the 25th of this month, we start with a series of classes via Zoom. They'll still be free, but just via Zoom. And then at that point, there will be 2 classes just dedicated to joint mobility. And it's really important because prana gets trapped in the joints, right? There's all these little crevices in the joints. So let's go ahead and switch directions, accentuating the movement. As you find the little places that are stagnant, that have obstruction, just sending a breath there. And feel the support of the earth beneath your feet. The toes are pointing straight ahead. And breathing. You can speed up the movement a little bit if it's comfortable for you. You can just keep it really slow as well, really mindful. A little bit of this after 3 hours at your desk in very intense mode will certainly help you liberate things a bit, yeah? So it's a precious tool to take with you as you go back into your workspace. Or as you're there now, come back to neutral. Good. And then from here, I'm going to turn to the side. And we're going to walk the leg that's furthest away from the chair out. So similar to Parigasana that we did last week, or variation of it. on the mat. We're using the chair now. Take your hands on either side of the chair and lift up so that the hips are nice and even and the torso can rise from there. Yeah? Stretch both arms forward. Locate the hand that is closest to the chair and bring that on top of the other, clasping the hands, and then open up. Now, as you open up, I want you to really work through the triceps here. Yeah. And then using those arms as an extension of the spine to lift up. Now go ahead and look up and see to it that the hands are still stretching, lengthening, opening. A lot of joints here, yes? A lot of joints to those knuckles of each finger and through your wrists. And the wrists need a lot of opening as well, yeah? That's a joint that really gets a lot of extra work at the office. So continue to lengthen in this way and then move in the direction of that straight leg. Saying hello to the intercostal muscles, saying thanks for bringing a little bit more prana, life force into every cell of the body, nourishing you, strengthening your immunity. And then if you want, take that bottom arm down and reach and expand. The back of the neck is free. And then there's this arc around that is coming from the base, yeah? So you're not forcing from above, you're interested in arcing the entirety of the spine to the ability that you can. This lateral stretch is not very available, not completely available, but we just do what we can, giving each exhalation an opportunity to dissolve a little further into the pose. Inhaling, perhaps you root more here, and then releasing. Ooh, and the sun is starting to shine, yay. And then go ahead and come back to center. And this time, take that right leg or that straight leg all the way back behind you. Again, use your hands to adjust your seat so that the hips are leveled. Reach the arms forward. Locate that hand once again, that arm once again that is closest to the chair, and bring it up on top this way this time. Bend the bottom arm. Now, perhaps you have plenty of sensation here to the trapezius, the backs of the shoulders. You stay right here. If you can go a little further, clasp all the way back and around this way. Good. Now here, wherever there's tension, there's weakness, right? So we want to greet that tension lovingly with our breath, not push ourselves into it, not force ourselves, our will into it, yeah? Just lovingly, so that as we do that, that impulse that has been calcified in a sense, right, with the tension can dissolve, can go back to where it came from, which was not in your body. So then here, find your elbows and use that leverage to broaden more through the collarbones. And then send the elbows forward and broaden more through the collarbones and send those elbows forward. Now lift from the base of the spine. Lift, lift, lift from the base of the spine. Good. And continue to walk that back leg back if it's available to you. A lot going on here. And then reach the arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Beautiful. And then go ahead and let all of this go. Walk both feet together to the center of the chair. And just notice the effects of all of that. You know that you have another side to enjoy. So either turn or move the chair, whichever way. Let's do side 2. So one leg straightens while you maintain the stability through the hips. Engage the quads of both legs. Root down. So you root down here by sending that leg towards the chair, and you root down here by sending it back, right? And then from this, reach the arms out again. Locate the hand that is closest to the chair and bring that on top. Clasping the hands, open up. Good. So really stretch this. Good. Stretch this often. Yeah? All those carpal tunnel issues. bringing a little bit of prana, life force, circulation into those joints will be so tremendous. And then as you're able, reach the arms up, bringing the triceps into the biceps, lifting up from the side body, saying hello to the side body, lift, rise. Find the pelvic floor, tone it up, lift all the way up to the crown of the head while maintaining the rooting, the engagement through the legs. And then begin to open to the side. So as you lift, you broaden, you release tension, and then on the out breath, perhaps you can go a little bit further into that lateral stretch. And breathe again and recap, and then go a little bit further. Maybe that bottom arm comes down again and you reach. Good. Become aware of the back body too. Yeah? So the back lungs, fill them up. Let them become buoyant. And then go further into the stretch. And breathe. And breathe. Long neck. Soft face. You're doing yoga. Life is good. And then come on back. Walk that straight leg all the way back this time. Stretch it back as far as you can. But keeping the hips even. Nicely rooted. Lift up from the base. Reach the arms out again. Locate the arm closest to the chair and bring it up on top. Good. Bend that bottom arm and maybe this is plenty. Yeah? Or maybe you want to take it all the way up and around. Good. So now here, use that bounding of the arms to broaden more through the collarbones, to lift through the sternum, to discover more space. Yeah. So as we find ourselves in this lockdown a little bit longer, hopefully not much longer, let's discover more space for taking care of ourselves, for creativity, for connection, for balanced living. Great. And then from here, reach the arms up, Virabhadrasana 1. Long neck, up, and release. And just notice. Now we're going to open up the backs of the legs. And you will take your blanket to the back of the chair. Like so. If you have a wall near you, then you can just nudge it all the way back. Okay. Hands at the hips, find your stability. If it's comfortable for you to bring one leg up like so and do it that way, great. Otherwise, use a wall or use the back of the chair to do so. Then straighten out that bottom leg. Straighten out that top leg, I should say. The toes pointing straight ahead. Yeah? And the bottom leg is directly below the hip. Some of you will find very little activity here. So then you bring the leg up to the top of the chair. And maybe you find yourselves in this variation of Virabhadrasana 3. Yeah? So that leg would be your standing leg, and then the torso, and the bottom leg expanding out in both directions. Abdomen rising up. Breathe. The thigh muscles are engaged to support that deeper opening of the hamstring, which is what we're looking for here. But they're also giving us stability, right? Stability. Rise. And then from here, if you're here, wherever you are, bring the leg back in and take it down. Lovely. And let's do the second side. Bring the leg up and out. Now maybe you find that this is not enough, but this is too much. And in that case, begin to lean forward until you find, or if you lose your balance, you come back, lean forward, until you find that the hamstrings have activated. Yeah? And as you find that sweet spot, make sure that you are engaging the antagonist muscle, the quadriceps, because that will serve as support. So you can just be here. And if you do have a wall, you can use that, or maybe use the top of the chair. So both hips rooting down, and then legs engaging into the muscles as you lengthen forward. If you begin to round your spine, then you're going too far, come back off a bit. Yeah? Keep that spine super long. Keep those legs engaged. And then just go from there. Work from there. Breathe. Hanumanasana, the courageous monkey. One leg is forward, one leg is all the way back, and the torso nice and long, right in the present. So then from here, we will take our legs. We can leave the chair as it is, but let's take that blanket and fold it up like so. Halfway, and then halfway again. And let's place it under the chair. Prasarita Parugustasana. So you're taking the legs out as wide as you can while maintaining the engagement of the legs. And then from here, take your hands to your hips, root down through the hips, and lengthen the torso forward. Lengthen it forward. Lengthen it forward. If the spine begins to round, then just place your hand on the chair like so, and just work with this, yeah? But some of you may go down to here, where the forehead is resting on the chair, the hands are down. This is great. Some of you may go all the way down. It is all good. But wherever you are, I want you to do a little suction cup action with the feet. So lift up through the arches of your feet. Wherever you are, I want you to take your shins to move forward, the quads, the femur bones to move back, the outer hips to move back, while the abdomen is rising up, rising up, rising up. And if you can come all the way down, great. If you can float your legs up to the sky, wonderful. Wherever you are asking the body permission to go deeper. That's it. Then you're always safe. The body's never going to let you hurt itself, but you have to pause and ask for permission, right? So it has to be a gradual, mindful way of moving. And then let's go ahead and take the right hand to the center of the chair like so. Let's bring the left hand to the sacrum. And let's create length here for the spine. And then let's rotate out in the out breath. Good. And maybe even reach up. So length through the spine. And then on the out breath, asking permission for revolving around. And then inhale back to center. And let's do the same thing on the second side. Create that length, create that stability. So the legs are still working just as before. Long, long spine. And then on the out breath, begin to revolve. Note that the neck is nice and free, yeah? The back of the head, it's as if you're still lying on the ground with the back of the head resting in that way. And then you revolve. And if it's there for you, you reach up. Collarbones broaden, exhale, twist. And then inhale back to center. Now, those of you who were able to bring your hands all the way down to the ground will follow into the next step. Those of you who weren't will just repeat this once more. Yeah? So, take your blanket, those of you who are going to go deeper, place it on top of the chair, and then from here, bring the right hand down. So see, the hand has to come all the way down to the ground in order for this to work. Otherwise, you're just doing that first twist once more. And rest your head out like so. So there should be ease in your neck. Yeah, you're not forcing anything. It's ease. It's just supported so that you can revolve, so that you can twist. Take a nice deep breath in, create that length, Engagement of the legs, and then on the out breath, twist. And then inhale back to center and switch sides. So wherever level you are, go ahead and switch hands. Maybe the opposite cheek goes onto the blanket if that's where you are. Bring your hand to the sacrum again. Breathe in, engage through the legs, engage through the spine. And then on the out breath, revolve. And revolve. And revolve. Inhale back to center. Bend your legs and just pedal your feet in. Hello, Yoda. And come on up, rooting down through the legs. Okay, so we got one more to go. Two more. One with a variation. I'm going to open the hips a little bit now. The backs of the legs are nice and open. Take your blanket like so, please. And sit on your chair. Where's your chair? You have your blanket. What about your chair? So then move the flesh out of the way. Draw the right leg in. Cross the right leg over. And as if this was not a possibility, not enough flexibility to the hip, then just straighten out that bottom leg. Bring it up like so, and you may find that once it's there, you're able to bring it in. If this is too easy, you're not feeling very much at all, bring that bottom heel up and lean forward. Okay? So creating this length through the spine, there should be quite an engagement here through the hip right now. And if there isn't, focus more on moving from the inner groin of that right leg out to the knee. Inner groin out to the knee as you lengthen forward. If the spine begins to curve, then just back off a little bit. Same story, yeah? And that foot is flexed. There's no wrinkles on that right ankle. And then go ahead and switch sides. So here again, if the hips are tight, straighten out the bottom leg first. Bring the opposite leg around like so, and then bring it up. Moving the flesh out of the way. Lift up through the torso. Maybe bring that bottom heel up. That will add a little more intensity. But move from the inner groin of that leg out. Out through the knee. Lengthen forward. Breathe. And breathe. Back of the neck is free. And breathe. A lot there, right? Well, we sit a lot. So we got to give it space. Give it attention. And then loving breaths. And that will bring the tension right back to where it came from, which was not from you. So the way to release. And then go ahead and let go. Now some of you will want to do this again. And some of you will want to take it a little bit further. In any case, bring that top leg up. If you're happy here, feeling plenty of sensation, stay with this. Everybody else, do a quarter turn and do another quarter turn. So that right leg is on the chair and the left leg, sorry, Yodes, left leg walks back. Now, use your hands to assist you in bringing that right hip to the right a little bit more. Here, walk that leg back. And then from here, lift up from the base, from the low abdomen, lift up, rise up. Maybe even reach your arms up, maybe even go into a slight back bend here. The back of the neck is full, open. Really working through that back leg, the inseam of that back leg, really working through the inseam of that front leg. So you are opening the hips and lifting, rising. And then go ahead and come back as you went in. And those of you who are waiting for us, thank you for your patience. Hopefully you are still breathing into that tight hip, right? And making the most of it. And then we'll do the second side. Cross the leg over and then either stay here or bounce around to the side once. And then once more. And then once you have most of that left leg on the chair, go ahead and walk the opposite leg back. Walk it back. Good. And then place your hands on your chair. Root down. Just square the hips, lift from the abdomen. So if you were just drawing the belly in, then there's all this blockage, right? Prana can't move, there's obstruction. Very tough for the organs and for the psyche. But if instead you just lift the abdomen up, then you can really support the back body. Yeah, you can support all the muscles along the spine. And you can still invite prana. So again, if you wish, reach the arms up. The back of the neck is full length. And then find your way in as you went. You like this, huh, Yoda? Yoda wants to join us in this party. And then back to center. Let's take the legs wide. Let's reach the arms up. Let's take a nice deep breath in here. And then exhale, fold forward. Make sure that you're stable. Maybe this is as far as you go. Yeah? But if you can go further, then go right ahead. And drop down. And release the spine completely. Breathing in. Breathing out. And allowing the next breath to come in. And then again, using your hands onto your thighs. Lengthen up. Root down through your outer glutes to lift up. And some of us will be able to take a long shavasana now. And if that's the case for you, then I invite you to come back to where we started, where some of us started, on the ground. Yeah, with the legs on the chair. If you have a chair like this, use it this way. Okay? Yeah. And those of us who have to leave soon, I invite you just to take a seat. And take a seat on your chair. I will read a little wisdom from Yogananda that I find to be very useful for our preparation to go back to the office space, and especially for those of you who are working a lot at this time. If you want to have a mental garden blooming in the soil of wisdom, you must make your life simple. By doing everything consciously, not absent-mindedly, you can analyze your activities and then choose what's important and cut out the non-essentials. As soon as you are through with your duties, withdraw your mind from them and employ it, your mind, in other creative pursuits. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.